But the question becomes, why don't we just do it? Simply this, we have become a people that's result-based. We look at Michael Jordan, we look at Martin Luther King and say, oh, I want to be popular like them, but we don't want to do the work. And there is no reward without process. And if you learn to embrace the process, if you learn that there was glory in the process, then that means that you are sooner from claiming that reward. It's kind of like working out. You ever gone to the gym and you've been sore the day before and you feel like not working out, but you've been committed? Sore all over, but you keep working out. And what you recognize is even though you're sore, as soon as the workout begins, as soon as the warm-up begins, and the sweat comes matriculating from your body feels good all over again. Because your body says, yeah, we're getting closer. We're getting closer to fitting that dress. We're getting closer to fitting that suit. The process is for those who are courageous. And this life dictates that you must be courageous. But you know what? Let's just stop living as though we're weak souls, because we're not. Let's stop living as though we're inferior, because we're not. Let's stop undermining the value that we all have, because we are indeed valuable. And if you do that, then you live King's legacy. One of the things we learn from Kings is the only place for your voice and your actions to be silent is the grave. That as long as there's breath in your body, you got to be what Paul Lawrence Dunbar calls us to be, and that's a fighter. As long as your lungs expand, you got to be a fighter. As long as you have the ability to see, and the ability to hear, and the ability to move, you got to be a fighter. As long as you're allowed to see today, you got to be a fighter. There were those who woke up this morning sometime around 7 a.m., but sometimes around 10 a.m. didn't find themselves living anymore, but you find yourself living. What are you going to do with that? It's called a gift. No guarantee that you have to have this life, but this life becomes glorious when you decide to become glorious, and everything moves. Everything moves to your beat. So the question becomes, what exactly are you going to do? No excuses now. You've been told that you have all this power inside of you. No excuses now. You have been told that you have all this strength inside of you. No excuses now. The only thing that is waiting for you is your success. Wouldn't it be great that one day a group of individuals come together and say, you remember her? You remember him? Yeah, I remember her. Yeah, I remember him. Something special about him. Something special about her. You are literally 1 in 7 billion. No one else has your DNA composition. No one else has your background. No one else grew up in that household with your name. You are 1 in 7 billion. In the process of creation, millions of sperm cells shot out to connect with one egg. So several times, millions of sperm cells shot out. One sperm cell connects the egg, so you are literally 1 out of 7 billion times 1 out of several millions. And some of you, your ancestry came from Africa, which means that 2/3 of them didn't survive the ship or the seasoning process. Only 1/3 survived to be slaves. So you're literally 1 out of 7 billion times 1 out of millions times 1 out of millions is you. You're special. You're so special that a bacteria cell has about 100,000 atoms in it. That is you. You are no different than King. You are no different than Jordan. All of those things that exist in them, all the 206 bones and ligaments in their body exist in your body. Therefore, what are you going to do with it? Eventually, this vessel that we have called a body will become what Cornel West says, culinary delight for terrestrial worms. Eventually, this will all be over, but while you still have it, why don't you just do it? And you will be great. And I know that will be honoring King's legacy more than showing documentaries, more than going to parades, more than conversations in the classroom. If you live your life like a king, if you live your life like a queen, if you live your life like the greatness that you have the ability to do, then you will honor his legacy. Knowing King, knowing how humble he was, he'll be sick and tired of all this focus on him. And he would ask one question: what are you doing with your life? What are you doing to carry on my legacy? What are you doing to carry on my work? Because there's still work to be done. I'm excited for you. I know there's greatness in you. I know that eventually one day I will not be surprised if I think to myself, man, I remember meeting so-and-so January 17, 2012, and I see she's a doctor now. I remember meeting so-and-so January 17, 2012, and I see that he has a successful business. I remember meeting that person January 17, 2012, and remembering he or she told me they were heading towards the wrong path, but all of a sudden something just changed. In an instant, they became great and powerful. All those things exist in thee. Just do it. Just do it. So here it is. And I close on this thought. There is something to be said about a person who walks with authority, speaks with authority, and believes with authority. We often hear the statement, when life hands you lemonades, do what? Make lemonade, right? But it's deeper than that. See, when lemonade happens, lemonade adds sugar and water, which means it dilutes the power of the lemon. So therefore, the lemonade has more power than the lemon does. If you only use a little bit of sugar and a little bit of water, the lemon still has power. But the more sugar and the more water, the more the lemonade has power over the lemon. And I am telling you that life is a lemon and life presents you challenges, but you add more sugar, you add more water, then you become the lemonade and you have more power than the lemon that life presents you. Stop allowing life to live you and you start living life and watch what happens. The universe will move to your beat because you have the power now. No longer does it control you. Don't allow the uncontrollable to control you, but now you control it and everything changes. King lived in an era where racism was so hard and so tangible that it probably seemed impossible to ever fix. And he could have, if he wanted to be like, nah, it's too deep. Now the slavery thing and the segregation thing has been around too long. I can't do it, but he did it. He fought. And I know for some of you came from certain neighborhoods, and some of you came from certain households, and some of you came from certain schools, and some of you have been betrayed by friends. Some of you have been doubted by loved ones. Some of you have been told that you're nothing but failures, but that's a lie. There's a difference between failed and failure. Lucille Ball was kicked out of drama school because she was considered too shy. Abraham Lincoln lost 8 elections. Walt Disney was fired by a newspaper company because he was considered as lacking creativity. In these instances, Thomas Edison was considered stupid as a kid. Frederick Douglass was a slave. Booker T. Washington was a slave. Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, it was slaves. But yet, they might have failed in these environments, but no one would ever dare call them a failure. A failure is someone who would simply give up. And you got to say, yes, I might have made some mistakes. Yes, I might have failed at certain times, but I am not a failure. And now is the moment, and now is the time for you to change that. And for you to become successful and live the legacy of King. With that being said, I thank you. And I hope you have a wonderful day.
How do you follow that? Sorry, I'm not as good as you.
Get out. Get out.
That was amazing, as I said it